They move it along without him. They can't wait. You know what I mean? Because what's going on now is what's happening right now. So I think they move along without him. I mean, waiting on him. Well, they may have some idea of how long he may be out. I don't know. But in that case, if he's going to be out way too long, then what do you do there? So I wouldn't wait. I would just go ahead and move along and maybe put somebody else there.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Wrestling Time Machine. I'm your host, Mac Davis, and of course, with me each and every week are none other than my two favorite people. First of all, legendary pro wrestling journalist, Mr. Bill Apter. Hey, Bill.
Well, thank you, and you are one of my two favorite people.
I can't wait to hear what comes next. And of course, the other guy on the panel here is Mr. WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy.
Well, no, ain't no use you talking about hey Teddy. Ain't no hey Teddy nothing. You said when we first got started here. All right, guys, here we go. In 3. You only counted to 2.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, 3.
You know why?
2.
You know why? He missed Friday. He missed Friday on Sesame Street when they were doing the number 3.
And look, let me tell you something. Teddy knows this. I've been a nursemaid for days now. I'll tell you a real quick story. My wife is driving her vehicle on Saturday morning.
Under the influence.
No. But she did. People thought so. She has a hypoglycemic condition when she just didn't have anything to eat, and she really messed herself up, and she went into what she just kind of passes out. But she calls me on the telephone, passes out while I'm talking to her on the telephone, knowing that she's driving her car. She ends up in a ditch. She doesn't get hurt real bad, but she does end up in the hospital, and I have to go take care of her there. And then in the process of everything else that was going on that day, they come back and say, oh, by the way, you have COVID. So now she's been home days, sick as a dog because of the COVID. And I've been playing nurse. So she is moving around a little bit today. So thank goodness for that.
It's called married life.
Yeah, right. Man, it is. I mean, better or worse, brother.
Yeah.
And she had to put on me a week before. So
Rodney Dangerfield always said, hey, marriage is a wonderful institution. Ask any man what put him in an institution, and they'll tell you.
All right, guys, let's talk about a few wrestling items here. First of all, Seth Rollins is now out of the WWE with an injury. And I'm curious, Bill, what happens next with Mr. Money in the Bank? And what happens with Money in the Bank?
Well, Paul Heyman said it very clearly on Monday Night Raw recently that Seth has 9 months to cash in that title, so cash in the briefcase, so he can stay out until that almost expires and then see what the situation is in WWE and cash it in whoever's champion then. I don't think he's going to be out that long. I think we're going to see, and I'm not doubting that the injury is not real.
Let me stop you right there because, Bill, that is something I want to mention. Do you believe that the injury to Seth Rollins is legit, or is this a storyline?
No, I believe it's legit, but perhaps not as severe to keep him out a long time. He's had issues with that like for a long time, and just the fact that he wasn't writhing in pain when he took the pin from LA Knight, and a quick pin, to me, that was very surprising. Just, he didn't try and kick out or lift his arm up. Was very convincing to me that he was hurt and he didn't want to further hurt himself, and he just needed to get out of there. So I think it's legit.
Teddy, what do you think they should do about Money in the Bank? Should they wait until he gets better to continue that story, or do you somehow move that story along without him?
They move it along without him. They can't wait. You know what I mean? Because what's going on now is what's happening right now. So I think they move along without him. I mean, waiting on him, they may have some idea of how long he may be out. I don't know. But in that case, if he's going to be out way too long, then what do you do there? So I wouldn't wait. I would just go ahead and move along and maybe put somebody else there.
Yeah, but they can't do it. They can't do it. Paul Heyman had said there's a rule. And I think it was 9 months that he does not have to cash that in for 9 months.
Well, I mean, as an angle and a storyline, yeah, I can understand where you're saying that. But the reality, business-wise, is they can't just let that money in the bank thing sit idle for 6-7 months, can they, Ted?
Well, they can always bring in the GM. The GM there, Adam there, he can always change that rule, but he can say he went to a higher authority, someone higher than him, to find out what he could really do and what he can't do. And he found out that he can change that rule. So I'd leave it in the hands of the GM.
What about Seth Rollins doing periodic vignettes, sitting there at home with the money in the bank thing going, I'm not going to tell you when I'm coming back. Could be soon, could be longer, but Gunther or whoever is the champion at that point, be careful because you're in my sights.
Well, I think that's good too, because you got to keep it going and you got to keep the players active. People got to see them. So, I think that's good too.
The only thing that concerns me, though, is that there have been a lot of times where they could have used the injured talent like that, with backstage or even from the cell phone and recording themselves. There have been opportunities to do that. I hope that they'll do something like that with Seth Rollins, where they can incorporate him in the show somehow, because they've fallen down on that on several people, and I hate to see that continue.